um, in some ways it kind of stunts your personal growth because it's easy to avoid taking chances, learning new things, because you're funneling all your focus and energy into your family or your job. And so that's really what happened for me during those years. I mean, it's not like I would not have my family. Of course, they're important to me, and I love them, and I love all the experiences that we had growing up. But there comes a point. My kids are in their 20s now, and so they don't need me in the same way they did before. And you look around and you go, oh, okay, what does that mean for me at this point?
And that's a lot of feeling that people get, because you have this whole purpose for so long. You've got this job that really takes up, a really, really big amount of time, because, you're a CPA, so you have to be as dedicated and as focused on that, because you're doing other people's, I guess, goals and, and all of their, official paperwork and things like this. So you had to be on your game constantly within that, but also trying to raise a family as well. So you've got that kind of juggling act. And then, like you said, they got older and you went, oh, what can I do now? Or what should I do now? And a lot of people do get that empty nest feeling, and they say, oh, I didn't really know what to do. It was my job over. Everything I'd done, which direction should I go in now? So how did you feel? Okay, so you've got the kids growing up bigger. You were in the corporate world. How long did you stay doing corporate? Was that throughout their whole life, or when did you decide to come a little bit out of that?
Essentially, it wasn't until my oldest daughter was just about ready to leave high school and go on to college that I thought, okay, well, things are changing. And as a parent, you kind of think, well, and as a parent, your job is to be a parent forever. I mean, you're never not a parent anymore.
Yeah.
But, after those first 18 years, the job changes. And as a parent, you have to go through that change and that transition, and it can kind of be painful. To realize that you're kind of being semi-retired from.
And you didn't ask for it. You didn't show up for the gold watch. You don't even get a gold watch at the end of the 20 years, do you?
I know, I wasn't exactly ready to let all that go. But there you are, right? And it's a kind of bittersweet thing, right? Because if you've done your job well as a parent, then your children step out into the world with confidence and joy, and they go off to do the things that they're meant to do. And you're, on the one hand, you're so excited and you're so happy for them, and on the other hand, you turn around and you look at your empty home and you're like, wow, okay.
Didn't that time go by quick? It probably feels like, where did the years go? And they rush along. So you're at that point there, so they're grown up, they're getting a little bit more independent, creating a bit more of their own life. When did you start to think, okay, this is not the end for me? I think I've got some more left in me here, thank you.
Yeah. Yes, well, during that time I was working for a small school, and I was interested in education and technology because I've always been interested in computers. They've been part of my life as a CPA, and I really saw the potential for better use of technology in the classroom. And I decided, well, I'd always toyed with the idea of getting an advanced degree. I had thought I wanted to get an MBA when I was younger, but I realized it was really a rehash of the business degree that I had before, and it didn't seem to be the right thing to do at the time. But that idea of getting an advanced degree had always stuck with me. And so at this stage of the game, I said, well, how about that advanced degree? And so I went searching, and I found an online master's in education program at Purdue University that dealt with learning, design, and technology. So at the age of 62, I went back to school.
Excellent. Absolutely excellent.
And
good.
That was kind of the beginning. I didn't end up going down the road of curriculum design and education after all, but I was happy that I did the program. It was really quite a strenuous thing for me because I had been in business and we didn't do the kind of research that I learned to do in a master's program. But anyway, it did spark the idea that I had always thought about in the back of my mind that I wanted to be in business for myself. My mother had a flower shop all the years that I was growing up, and my uncles were in business for themselves. And it just, I wanted the opportunity to be able to see what I could really do. So about that time, the work that I was doing had become really stressful, and it was no longer a fulfilling arrangement for me. And so, I decided to pull the plug. And I kind of decided to jump without really having figured out my landing spot exactly.
Is that how you would describe the wandering in the desert? You talked about that earlier. Would that be a bit of the wonder that you're talking about?
That's exactly what it is.
Okay, good. So, I was wondering when that was going to come in.
At that point, it's like, okay, I want to do something different. I like technology. I know that this kind of online world is exploding. I know that for myself personally, I didn't want to provide accounting services. I didn't want to do things in the business world. I pretty much had my fill of the business world for now. And I wanted to do something else. And when I thought about, so I spent all this time looking. So for the first 6 months after I left my job, I was looking for different ideas on the internet, and one thing led to another. And I began to realize that my confidence wasn't as strong as I thought it was. In business, doing what I had done all these years, I was very confident, and that was great. But now in this new environment, I realized that, I had some holes in my confidence, some big holes. And I figured, well, I needed to figure out how to fill those if I was going to move forward, because, if you want to have a business, you've got to be visible in the world.
Yes.
You've got to take a few risks. You've got to do things that you haven't ever done before. And it was really, I have to say, kind of frightening.
And it is because you'd been, like you talked about, comfort zone earlier. You'd been within the same family environment for many years, the same corporate type job. You've come out highly educated, so your mind can just so go anywhere it wants to go. And like you said, you were kind of wondering and going, okay, where do I need to go? And then you saw that confidence was kind of holding you back a little bit. How did you start to build up that confidence? What sort of things did you think, okay, I need to get a hold of this because this is where I want to be?
Right. Well, at first it was a lot of trial and error. And it's a funny story about my decision to go to Chantel's program, Shine Live.
Yes.
Because that was kind of the beginning of my new leaf that I was turning over. Because, this was a program that I didn't really know anything about, a 3-day conference for women entrepreneurs, and, just a lot of shiny, excited, bubbly things that I didn't have any experience with and actually felt pretty uncomfortable with. I mean, if you take the kind of stereotype of the accountant, the bean counter, that kind of thing, I lived a pretty staid, placid life for the most part. People don't get excited when you start taking,
I know exactly what you're saying because I was at that event. So you arrive at this event, everyone's got high heels on with glitter on, and they're doing flash mob dances and kind of connecting in a way that probably you haven't done at accounting conferences before.
Yeah, not quite the same thing. I didn't get to dance.
I saw you, yes.
Accounting conference before.
Yes.
We did it at Chantel's event, but, and then, so I just decided I was going to take this chance and do it. And I ended up with a roommate, a woman that I had never known before, Meredith Bisker. I'm sure you know
her. Yes, I do. She's lovely.
And it was a great experience. But my kids, my daughters thought, what are you doing, Mom? You're going someplace, you don't know anything about this. You're going to stay with someone you don't even know. Have you lost your mind? What's going on?
They probably thought you'd lost the plot.
Yeah, exactly.
But you went anyway, didn't you? You went anyway.
Yeah, there were times when I thought I had lost my mind, but I'm so glad that I took that chance and stepped out of my comfort zone because it was an opportunity to gain some new experiences. It was really scary. And I'm sure that, I could have I could have done better at maximizing my experiences and my interactions with people. But for me, it was a big win just showing up.
Good. And it was, especially when your family said, Mom, you're doing what? You're going how far? You're driving this far. And who do you know there? Nobody. And you're going to sleep in a room with a stranger. Yes. And she looks really nice, and we're going to get along just fine, which, you know, we know Meredith, so we know we would get along fine. But they probably just thought, well, how is this going to turn out? But so how did it turn out for you when you went there and did that? When you left that event and you left, you know, that newfound, I guess, activity. You'd never done something like that before. How did you feel driving home?
It was really exciting, but it was also very scary.
Okay.
Because, you know, you kind of opened the door and you saw the glimpse of what could be, and then you thought about all the things that you were going to have to accomplish in order to make that happen, right? And it was just a whole new world for me. I had never experienced any of those things, but, you know, and then I had to, all the way back, there was the lovely little inner critic that we all have, you know, that voice that says, well, that was nice, but now you just need to forget any ideas of doing any of that stuff and just go back to what you know, because
that's what you know. And so the inner critic, you were so confident in a way, but then that little voice goes, oh, wait a minute, are you sure about this?
It all comes flooding out, right? And so, there was this kind of ongoing dialogue in my brain for the 5 hours that I was driving back. Because I don't know if you know, but that's when I signed up for Center Stage Live.
Yes, because you had to go to the next level.
Yes.
You had to then commit to the next thing. Yeah,
right,
good.
To do this speaking on stage thing. And it's like, you know, that inner critic was like, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? You're going to speak on stage in front of all these people? You have no experience doing that. And what would you say anyway? I mean, you can just imagine the conversation going on.
Yeah, and the little bird on the other shoulder says, go on, sign up, pay today, let's get this show on the road. Yeah.
Figure it out.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was the beginning of my year of wandering in the desert. And so I kept putting one foot in front of the other. And my mantra was, well, you haven't done that before, so let's try it now. Because basically, what I had been doing before wasn't working for me to be able to get out in the world and do the things that I wanted to do. So, you know, if it's not working, you've got to do something different. So that was the deal. It's like, okay, if it's different, then I'm going to try it. And if it doesn't work, okay, then I can learn from that and I can move forward and take another step and see where it goes. And it's really that, you know, that's what I tell women today. It's that taking that first step. It's learning to, you know, for me, it was really important. I knew why I wanted to do this. I knew that if I didn't do this now, I would be like the people in Bronnie's book.
Yes, tell me more about how that book made an impact on you. Describe the book to us.
You know, I don't know if you've read her book, but
I haven't, but I've heard about it.
Yes, it's really amazing when you read the 5 regrets. And I won't go through them all, but the primary one is, I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me.
And that can be so empowering when that happens for people, because I've spoken to a lot of people that went down that other road that maybe people didn't agree with. It wasn't necessarily a bad road. It was the road for them. And I've talked to people about the fact that they say, well, I just felt so empowered. It felt so good to go that way instead. But it takes some strength to take that first step down that road, especially when people don't think you should be going that way. You've got people kind of pulling you back. So,
and the second regret was, I wish I hadn't worked so hard. So it was like, bam!
It was like a book written for you.
Yeah,
yes.
Exactly. And so I knew, you know, I mean, as I read the book, I just had this visceral response, this like fear at the core of my heart, and the hair on my neck stood up, because I thought, I don't want to be that person. Because, you know, the idea of getting to the end of your life and realizing that you had these kinds of regrets and there was nothing you could do about it anymore, that the die had been cast. There's no do-over, there's no going back, there's no rain check. It's done.
So you have to make